Mr. F made this.
Now, as you can see, all of them are straight patterns. They are not irregular patterns. They don't have any kind of shape. All of them are just straight and rectangular. So I'm just going to quickly explain to us how we can cut the patterns from the leather. I'm going to show us 3 different ways in which we can actually cut it. Now let's go. So what we do, the first style I'm going to show us is this. You're just going to place your pattern on it and draw it out. After drawing, you cut it out. Now you can see I've cut it out. The next thing is you place it on the leather you want to use as the lining, and also draw the outline out. Then what we do now is we apply gum. As you can see, I've applied the gum on the 2 sides. This is what I usually do. Anytime I still intend to stitch it after I've actually gummed it, I only apply my gum on my lining. Since I'm still going to stitch the edges, I will just apply my gum on it. I will not allow it to be totally dry before I place the main pattern on it. But for this one now, if you know that, oh, I'm not stitching it, what you do is apply gum on the 2 of them, on the pattern and on the lining as well. Then you place it on it. I might gently and then you cut it out. If you are going to stitch it, I will suggest that you don't cut it very close to this line. Cut it this way. When you finally finish stitching it, then you can cut it very close to the edges of your pattern. That's you can see the edges. You can see it. Now let's go to the other one. Now, for the other pattern, you know I told us we are going to 3. We have done the first one. This is the second one. This is what you do. Place it on it. Now, for this one, we are going to be doing what we call kissing pleating. By the time I am through with it, you will see what I mean by kissing pleating. For those who are familiar to sewing, I know you will know what I mean by kissing. You see what I did here? I didn't just use the pattern alone. I doubled it. The reason why I double it is because I'm going to close it up like this and close the other part after cutting it like this. I will show us. So after you have actually your pattern, what you do is when you place it on it, make sure you double it. Don't use the single. If you use the single, it will reduce the width by the time you fold it. But by the time you double it, just like I did now, it will still come back to this particular size. So what I will do now is I'm going to apply gum on it. I'm going to apply gum on it. Most time we use this particular style when we don't intend to sew or line. If you don't want to line it, you can decide to do it this way. You don't want to line and you don't want to sew it, you can decide to do it this way. Or when your leather is very soft, when the leather you're using is very soft and you want it to be a little bit thick, what you do is you can do this pattern. Now, as you can see, it's now dry. If you touch it, it's not, the gum is not coming out on my finger. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to bring it together. So you have to be careful, or else, because leather is very soft, you really need to be careful with it. Make sure it's kissing themselves. So as you can see, if you don't want to bother to line it at all, you see that it has covered everything up, so nobody will see anything. This one is the one coming to this side, so it stays like this. Why this one? So I'm going to stay here. You can see the design is already looking fine. You can decide to use this style for the three of them, for the three patterns. You know, one is here, and one is here. You can, since it's going to be the same color, as long as you are using the same color. For this one now, you will see that the edges is very straight. It's not something that it can actually be fraying. When I mean fraying, you know, some clothes, when you cut it, you can easily remove each of the wool that they used to make it. You see that this one is really smooth, it's not fraying, so it's very easy for us to use it for this particular style. But there are some leather, when you buy them, you see that if you look at the edge, it's like it's a little bit hairy at the edge, and if you are not careful, it can be removing. You see this one, if you look at it, you can see what I'm saying. You see. So I'm going to show you the next style, the third one, as in how you can cover up this so that it will not affect your work and it will not fray. Now for the third style that I'm talking about, you're going to draw out the pattern. This is our third pattern. I'm just using them to show us. I'm not saying that anytime you want to draw a pattern, all of them should be different. No, it's better that they are all the same thing. Now I've drawn out the pattern. So what I need is, I need like 0.5 centimeter as excess all around here and all around here. So what I'm going to do is increase it a little bit by 0.5 centimeter. 0.5 centimeter. My meter rule is in millimeter, and 10 millimeter is equivalent to 1 centimeter. So that's why. So what I'll just do is, so I've increased the two sides by 0.5 centimeter. So what I'm going to do now is apply gum this way. See my gum, I'm just going to apply it a little bit, not all around it, not all around, just a little bit. You can see the way I apply it, not like the other one that we doubled it. This one we are not going to double it. All you do is the sides, just increase them by 0.5. That's it for this particular one. I was telling us the other time that we should check our leather. If you look at this one, you see that it's having hair, and if you are not careful, it will just start removing and be fraying. So what we are going to do now is the excess, that is 0.5 centimeter, I'm going to fold it in. This one is not kissing like the other one. It's just for us to protect the edge. So it's just like when you are hemming a cloth. For this one, you won't be able to use it like that because you are still having, the inner part of the leather is still showing. So what you do is, you also place it on your lining, draw it out, And then you apply gum. Apply gum. As I told us earlier, I like to only apply gum on my lining as long as I'm going to still stitch it. But if you don't want to stitch, you're free. You can apply gum on the two of them, allow them to dry, then you place it on themselves. Now they are dry, so I'm just going to place it on the lining. Also hammer it. Then you can cut it out. You can decide to, as I said earlier, just cut a bit out of, let it have some excess by the side as long as you want to stitch it. So after stitching, then you can now remove the excess. So now there are 3 ways in which you can actually make straps like this, as I have shown those. Now look at the arrangement. This is how it's going to look like.
Mr. F made this.